Once again on Live It Up, it's story time. I absolutely love having authors when they come to the set. It's so exciting. I love their creativity. With us now is Kerriann, and her books are tremendously exciting. She's written 7. She's working on her 8th. This is her most recent. This is Historic Haunts of Long Island. Ladies and gentlemen, Kerriann. How are you?
Good. It's great to be on the show, Donna. Thank you.
Now, we met years ago through networking. I have got to watch your career just take off tremendously.
And great.
How many people have your beautiful work in their hands?
You know, it's so popular, and I do so many lectures on Long Island speaking about local history, and what better way to learn about local history than through a ghost story? That's basically how these books came to be, because I am a historian. I always say I'm a historian first, a ghost investigator second, and I go around with a medium, a paranormal investigator who has taught me everything about the other side. And I tell people it's not like what you see on television. I'm not running out of vans in the middle of the night screaming at the spirits. We take a very spiritual approach. And again, it's focusing on local history, our Native American past, the Revolutionary War, that kind of thing.
How did you personally discover that there was a connection between your writing and the ghost stories?
Well, my degree is actually in photography, and I had worked for Newsday as an intern as a photographer. I started working for local papers after that, which led to a column about older homes, trying to preserve houses in the town of Huntington. And when you're writing about older homes and things, there's always a ghost story or two that comes into it. And I was doing a lot of lecturing. I was first vice president of the Huntington Historical Society. And you know, one thing led to another. They asked me to do a lecture around Halloween just with some ghost stories. People asked me, why don't you write a book just on ghosts? But I put it on the back burner for a while. I wanted to be taken serious as a historian and as a journalist. I didn't want to be considered a ghostbuster. But as luck would have it, it all worked out, and down the road I said, you know what, I think I'm going to do that, and they've been very well received and very well respected.
In your opinion of your stories, what percentage of them are factual? Do you embellish a lot?
No, there's no embellishment.
That's right.
There's no embellishment. What it is, I mean, I'm not trying to convince anyone that this exists or whatever, but when you read the book, it reads more like a work of fiction, because I take the reader on the actual journey of what it's like for me to do these investigations. So you're reading my interview with other people saying, you know what, I never believed in ghosts before, but I saw this or this happened. And then Joe and I will get, you know, information from the other side. We'll have things happen. So it really, a lot of it is justified.
Now, what was the moment where you realized that something could be like verified or justified? Do you remember that moment where like you intuited something and then you went back to check a fact and you found out that yes, you know, this lady died that way or whatever?
Right, exactly. I mean, there was a whole bunch of that, because what we do is we are actually getting pieces of the historical puzzle. So, and working with Joe, it's like having your own ghost hunting tool, because he can communicate. So recently for this one, we were at the Grey Horse Tavern in Bayport, and I was going around, and we use very limited equipment. For this, I had an electromagnetic field indicator. It's about that big. And it picks up energy in the room. I'm walking around. It's not going off. All of a sudden, I'm walking towards the bar area, and it starts beeping, and it gets beep, 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 more and more. And it led me right to, it led me right to a chair at the end of the bar, and I said to Joe, I think there might be someone here. So he said, let's get out the recorders. But then he, through his mediumship, started to communicate with a man who had been to that bar for years and sat in that stool. So we had a conversation with him through the recording, and you can read about that in the book, and you could actually listen to they're called EVPs, electronic voice phenomenon, on our websites. So you see how it all works together, and you get evidence.
Now, how do you keep yourself sane? How do you keep, no, seriously, I mean that seriously, because once you start dabbling in these things and you realize that, okay, maybe there's more to the world than what we can actually visually see with our eyes, how do you keep your feet grounded? And you say to yourself, okay, this is,
That's a good question. Well, I'm born and raised Catholic, and I'm still a practicing Catholic, and my faith is very strong. And we stay away from anything that's negative. It's like anything else. If
So
someone,
if you're a bad ghost, you're not coming in
if
my
someone
book.
tells me, oh, you know, I know this house, they had a bunch of devil worshippers, we're not going to go there.
Okay.
We stay with historical,
Friendly ghosts.
yes, friendly ghosts. So, yeah, so it's all good. It's all spiritual. You know, I mean, this other book, my book, The Metal here.
This is going to ask you. Tell us about this one,
exactly.
too.
This is because I've had many religious experiences.
Okay.
And this is my first novel, and that came out in 2012. But it's based on a true story of things that happened during my father's illness and his ultimate death. He died from multiple sclerosis, and a miracle that took place the night he died regarding a Padre Pio medal. Now, Padre Pio is the saint who bore the stigmata. And I was given a medal that I don't want to spoil the ending of the book, but there's a miracle that took place the night my dad died. And the reason why I wrote it as a work of fiction as opposed to nonfiction is because it was just too intense and too personal. And people who have read this book have said that it has changed their lives. It has helped them overcome a lot of difficulties, especially caretakers. So it's been very well received as well. And I couldn't have written that book if I didn't do the other books and know what I know about communication with the other side.
Interestingly, you should say that, because what we didn't talk about, and I did not know that that was based on that, is that, and I got chills all over the place. My mom communicates to me through yellow roses. What I didn't know is that yellow roses are important to Padre Pio.
Yes.
And I'm not sure where we're going to be airing this segment. However, November the 20th, I was asked to MC the Padre Pio event that's happening.
Are you kidding? Wow.
No,
Wow.
that's happening in Queens, and I just posted it on Facebook because I was so excited
very
and honored
intense.
to be participating in this.
Yes.
So now I can't wait to read your book.
Yes, I
So
know.
leave
You have
this
to tell
one
me
with
more about.
Leave this
I
book
will.
with
I
me.
will. I will.
So you wrote this book, and then you received an
Oh, this has
award.
received 4 awards. Yeah.
Congratulations.
And it's been great. And like I said, the whole thing about being an author is to have your books go out there and to bring meaning to people's lives, and to have this happen with this particular book, to change people's lives and to get them to overcome their grief, or just people say, I can't believe you get it. I'm a caretaker and no one understands, and you get it. And I read this book and it meant the world. You can't ask for anything else more than that.
Well, congratulations on that.
Thank
I think it's
you.
absolutely
Thank you.
wonderful. And now, seriously, I cannot wait to read your book.
Yes.
So, Kerriann Flanagan, Brosky, and how could they find you?
I'm on Amazon. You
Okay.
can go to my website, ghostsoflongisland.com. You can go on there and sign up for my monthly newsletter if you want to hear me speak. I'm speaking all over Long Island. So.
Excellent. I'm just going to open up the book, and this is Deep Wells Farm in St. James, chapter 15.
Yes.
Do you ever have, suggest that people just open up the
They
book?
can, because there's 30 stories in there,
Right.
and I love them all. But that's the joy of this. You could pick something that interests you, and move on from there.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on
thank
all your
you.
success. It's always been an honor and pleasure to know you over all these years, and. Yeah. Okay. So now I know not to be afraid. I can read these
Yes, you
stories.
don't have to be. I'm not going to. Don't blame me if you're up at night. No, it's all good. It's all good.
Thank you so much. Please tune in week after week like you have been doing. We love bringing you these stories. We love hearing from you. You can reach out to me personally at liveituptvshow@gmail.com. And friendly ghost stories, if that's for you, or wonderful inspirational books like, I was just going to say it's going to be a movie. Books like The Metal, which will probably be a movie. Tune in. Thanks for watching.